Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you've had a safe and awesome week so far. As you can tell, a little bit under the weather, so I figured since setting up this this old video for everybody to watch tonight, if you got nothing better to do, I just go live for a few minutes just to say hello to everybody. Uh, Turns out, not only is the whole house sick, but while I was getting the ticker ready for this video we're about to play from our very first episode, uh, found out technically it's we've been live for a year doing the shows. We're at 50 episodes, so halfway to 100. Can't wait to get there. So I just want to thank everybody who's ever watched us before, even if you stopped watching us for whatever reason. Maybe we weren't your cup of tea. Um, I just want to say thank you for giving us a shot. For those that are still with us, thank you so much. This is by fans for fans. Every now and then we'll have a creator on here. Every other time we'll have maybe another YouTube personality on here, which is always fun. But I just want to let you all know that for our chat, the invitation is always open. If you ever want to come on the show for whatever reason, let me know. I'll get a hold of you. I'll send you the link. Whenever you're ready to come on. Certain people in the chat, you know who I'm talking to when I say that. Whenever you're ready to come on, let me know. I'd love to have you on. Um, we're also at 654 subs. Sorry, 653 subs. Um, we're kind of getting close to the end of the year. I don't think we're going to hit that 800 sub goal, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and move the goalpost for us and maybe make it 600 by the end of the year. 600 subs. It's 47 away. Um, but again, I just appreciate anybody that'll tune in and watch this. Again, what a time to be sick. It's a year anniversary. NYCC is going on right now. There's so much news. I've actually read a ton of books this week. So, preview for next week is basically going to be an NYCC weekly recap and stuff I've been reading. So that'll be the show next week. Folks, as soon as I get over whatever I'm going through right now with the sickness, I will have some content out. There's some shorts I want to do. There's some unboxings I got to do. There's a lot of stuff going on. So, like I said, I just wanted to hop on here while I was setting this video up to play. Hopefully this works right. First time trying to do something. It's just a replay. You can make fun of us. If you're just here to chill in the chat and talk to each other, that's cool too. You got any ideas for stuff you want us to talk about in the future? Or again, if you ever want to come on, you got something you want to talk about, let us know in the comments. I'll probably be skimming through the live later this week just to see. Or if after the live's done, you want to come back and drop a comment when the regular comments are up, that's fine too. Again, sorry, y'all. I really wanted to try to do a live tonight, but I've been good most of the week. And then Thursday, being my first night off in a while, I felt it in my throat. And next thing I know, I'm just dog tired. I slept most of the day yesterday until it was time for me to work. I slept off and on since then, since I got off of work. So, again, hopefully I'll have this knocked out, and next week we'll have a live. And I cannot wait to see all of you then. Can't wait to talk about all the great stuff and maybe not so great stuff that's been happening. I did drop a link in the chat in case you see it. The Sync Halloween special has been live for a couple of days. It's gonna run until October 31st, I believe. I've already backed it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. If you back a physical tier, a lot of cool covers. Make sure you check that out. And I didn't grab the link for it. I might pop in here later and put it in there. There's another YouTuber I found not too long ago. Dude does his own shows all alone. Uh, the name of the channel is Yo a Nerd. Um, Pretty interesting stuff over there. I'll probably drop his link either in the comments later or I'll link it in the description of the video. But all that being said, if anybody hops in tonight, thank you for being here. If you're watching on the rewind, we usually have a live 9 Eastern, 8 Central every Saturday. It's just, again, the whole house is sick. So enjoy if this is your first time watching. If it's not, again, you can just poke fun at us and just talk amongst yourselves in the comments. I will come high or hell water. Try it. Hell or high water. See, my brain's already frozen. I will, as soon as I get better, we'll have some content coming up, and hopefully I'll be here next Saturday. That way, we can have an actual live and talk to each other. It's one, being a very introverted person and very socially anxiety, this is like one of my outlets. I always feel awesome coming in here talking to y'all, even if it's only one person the entire time. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I might be, yeah, I do. Thanks, Nope. I do sound rough. That's why I couldn't, that's why I didn't think I'd be able to do a full show tonight. So, the voice comes and goes. I'm trying to make it a little softer right now, so I don't use it all the way up. But thanks for stopping in. Again, it's the very first live we ever did, so there's going to be some old stuff. There's probably going to be stuff in it that we talked about that we totally forgot about that we were going to do. So hope everybody enjoys it and have an awesome rest of your week. I'll see you during my time on the experience, and hopefully I'll see you next Saturday for that NYCC weekly recap. Y'all take care, and I'm going to have to come back here and shut this thing down. Thanks, Nope, you too. I know you weren't feeling exactly 100% yourself. I'm going to have to come back and shut this down. I might pop on for 5 or 10 minutes just to end it, or I might just end it. We'll see how I'm feeling. But anyway, I'm going to get this started. Hopefully it works. Thank you all for being here. You take care, and I'll see you next time. Take care, folks. Well, see what happens when you do stuff live. I got overexcited, overshot what I was doing. Hey everybody, how's it going? We'll see if we get some folks popping in. Sean, how are you, boss?
Doing great, man. Doing great. I know I seem a little distracted like a little kid at Christmas, but it's also because I'm trying to share everything.
That's all
Welcome
right.
in, everybody.
So this is Hydrasylum live test 1.5. We are going to talk. We got a few topics we're going to talk about, but I just wanted to make just real quick, just for everybody. I know we came up with a name that for some folks is hard to pronounce, but here's something easy that might help you remember. Idris Elba. Why Idris Elba? Here we go. Idris Elba, Hydrasylum. Hope that helps people. I mean, if you still mess up the name, I mean, it's no big deal. We're the ones who chose the difficult name to pronounce, but
right, that's how we work.
So said we give anybody a few minutes, even if nobody shows up. Like I said, this is a test. I did a test a couple nights ago, to which Jenna told me you could have just not answered the phone or told me you were live and you could have kept going. But since she was calling, I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and just let me call you back. So, hopefully this will be something we can kind of do on a regular Saturday basis. Just all depends on what's going on. Like next Saturday, we got a wedding to go to, so we won't be able to. I won't be able to be on, but hey, Idris, what's up, Mister No? Good to see you. Well, like I said, there's something about the phonetics of it to me. Hydrasylum, Hydrasylum.
Oh man.
Yeah. Hopefully this could be a Saturday thing. That way, the EXP goes dark on the weekends now.
Oh really? No
Saturday,
more Saturday shows?
yeah, there's no more shows on the weekends
Hmm.
for now. For now, that always can change. So I was like, you know what? This would be a perfect spot for us. We won't be cutting into, my work. Sundays are kind of my work days, not only for the experience to get my clips done for the week, but yeah, but also is when I try to do my videos and my shorts for Hydrasylum. So I was like, you know what? Sean's usually off on the weekends
For now.
for now.
See
That
what happens
this
now.
could always, yeah, this could always change.
'Cause to be
But
perfectly honest,
oh,
come end of October. Oh, what's up,
Mister
Scott?
Mister Swilky Smooth himself, writer extraordinaire. Check out Bad Bug, folks. People
Yes.
watching on the rewind, make sure you check out Bad Bug. Great stuff. Milky Way Galaxy. I'm telling you.
Yep, keep an eye out because Jack Frost is fixing to come to Kickstarter here soon. I
Mm.
cannot wait. If you want, Scott, feel free to put in the chat. Let us know when we can expect that to come on to Kickstarter.
Yeah. If you can. So,
True.
unlike last time, I ended up having a couple of notes just so we don't go completely. Well, we got to be on the rails at first to go off the rails. So, just so we don't fly off the earth, I did make some notes about some stuff we're going to talk about. So, first thing I want to do is I'm on a review show. Some of you know on the experience called Minute to Skim It with Miss Jen and Kyle. And we got a couple books. Now, one of these books I didn't read for the show, but I got to read it later, and it's amazing. And it's actually going to be the first book that I'm going to talk about. But the third one I'm going to talk about, you'll see Monday. I got something dropping Monday. But I want to talk to Sean about this. Sean has not read any of these books that I'm about to show. So let's see if I got this done correctly.
Perfect. Next couple of months. All right.
DC Absolute Batman by Scott Snyder, folks. Oh, so I read this after the show. Okay. This book, y'all. This book. This is the best Batman story that I have read in a very long time. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Batman fan. I like Batman. I really do. But this is honestly the best Batman story I've read in a long. It's pretty long. It's a pretty long story too. Opening book. Scott Snyder, dude. I'm a big fan of his anyway. We have demons, duck and cover. He wrote one of my favorite Superman stories, Superman Unchained. Like the dude's a legend. Hoping we can reschedule. We were supposed to have him on the experience. Life got in the way. Hoping we can reschedule with him. But I will tell you this: not going to spoil anything, but there was a lot of it. I ended up getting onto another live, the Nerd Initiative. We've watched them before. They've had some of our Bad Bug friends on with them. Scott was able to be on a live with them, and they didn't pull my comment up, but Scott saw it, and I asked him. I said, "Was it a little disheartening that the there was so much weird toxicity towards the new bat symbol, like that it kind of got spoiled to what it was?" And he was like, "No, I love the fact that folks were like, yeah, they don't like it, but we're having a conversation about it, we're discussing it." And that, I'm telling y'all, I've said this. This will be my fourth time saying this. This book proves to me 100% that Bruce Wayne does not need the billions to be Batman. Now, Sean, I want to ask you, man. You have already gotten us a couple of copies. Yes, that I can't wait to get in. By the way, can't wait to get in. Yeah, without even reading it, just off me telling you, bro, this book is amazing. what are some of your thoughts of this on this? Are you excited for it? What are you kind of hoping to see in this?
Oh, I'm super excited for it because the art in and of itself, from the few panels that I have gotten to like just sneak peek at online, if you Google search, this book looks brutal, like a very brutal take on Batman. And I almost wonder, and you don't have to tell me, I'll find out when I read it, but I'm kind of curious if he takes the moral compass that he has and that kind of gets put to the wayside a little bit because of this particular universe. So I know there's one thing that's already been spoiled for me with the bat symbol, and that's what has me wondering if it's actually going to be a lot more brutal. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I've read a couple of Scott's books, none of his DC stuff that I can recall. So I'm kind of excited to check out something like that. It's kind of like I've never read any of Donny Cates' Marvel work, and I want to read that. So this is kind of in the same area for me.
Yeah, without spoiling it too much for you, I will say this: you'd be surprised how much pain you can take and still remain alive. Let's put it that way.
So it's like Batman meets John Wick.
The rule is still there for Batman.
Oh, okay.
The rule is still there. He still has that certain rule, but there are parts of this where you're like, how this how this fool survived that? I don't get it, but it's amazing. Um, Again, no spoilers at all for anybody. The suit is so practical, and everything, almost everything on it has a purpose, and I love that. This is bare bones, blue collar job Batman, Bruce Wayne, and I love what he does for a living. I love what he does because in superhero terms, it's like saying if you break it, you fix it. So I love what he does for his job. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't. Okay, well, I'm gonna move on to the next book because all three of these books I could talk about for a while. Trust
Yeah.
me, they're all great. But the
Like,
next one I want to get here is as soon as I can. There we go. Space Ghost number 6 with Moltar on the cover.
whew, I'm so far behind on this series. I read issue 1. Uh, for anybody that is in here listening, if you were like me and your main exposure to this character was Space Ghost Coast to Coast, take that, throw it out the window. This is absolutely nothing like that, and frankly, that's the best thing I think that they could have done for this because a campy Space Ghost, honestly, to me, would not have worked. Getting a Space Ghost that's very much like a Batman or Stephen Amell's Green Arrow, that kind of tone, best choice. And the artwork, from what I can remember from issue 1, is phenomenal. So, and then Jay, you can probably tell me, I'd imagine in the subsequent 5 issues, it's gotten even better.
Dude, I again, I've said it before. For whatever reason, Space Ghost was just a character that flew under my radar. I knew Johnny Quest and all those characters, the Flintstones, obviously. I knew all those folks, but for whatever reason, even I've heard of Coast to Coast, but I'd never watched it or anything. And what this comic does is it has taken a character that I knew nothing about and has made me fall in love with the character. I want to know everything about this dude now.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Lau's art, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is just otherworldly. Like what
I
what
see
I,
what you're
yeah, well, hey, that was a pun by accident. That was a pun by accident, but it's so amazing to me to know that there are human beings out there that they're so talented and do the things that they do. And and I'm sorry I don't remember who does the coloring for this, but the colors just accentuate everything that's going on with the art. This is definitely one of those books where you wouldn't even need What's up, Mr. Dumford? Another awesome writer from Bad Bug.
Oh,
Good to see you, brother.
uh, give me a second here, Jay. I am trying to see if I can find the art team for you.
But outside of that, this book is just, for a minute to skim it, Kyle and I don't get DC and Marvel. So unfortunately, we don't get to read those. So what what I said on the show was after reading this, I'm 6 issues in, and I've loved every issue. What I've said 100%, 100%, Mr. Nope. Um, this is just it's been so great. I lost my train of thought there. I was trying to recover, but I think it's gone. It's been
Colorist is Andrew Dahlhaus
okay.
or Dalhouse, one of the two. But that's who's doing the coloring.
We're gonna have Scott and Alan fighting in the comments here. But every issue has just been fantastic, and this team. I've read a lot of David Peppo's stuff before, and this team has made me love the comic. Alan, I love you, man. Too much sexy on the screen. Says the guy whose arms like destroy people's bandwidth.
Right.
Jeez.
Also, Mr. Nope, yeah. Based on everything like Jay's told me and what you're telling me, I'm cannot wait to get caught up on these next like 5 or so issues. I'm hoping that they do a trade here soon. If not, I'm just gonna go somewhere and I'll just buy all 5 or 6 issues. And, yeah, why not?
Dude, I can't wait to get this trade because I'm gonna read it all the way through again. There's something special about this book when a comic can make you care about a character that much. And Scott and Alan should know what we're thinking because Periwinkle. Love Periwinkle. Pocus. Like y'all have done characters I'm like those are brand new, obviously. But
Fury Chan.
fell in love with them. Fell in love with those characters. Like I don't just say that. Like trust me, we would still be friends and I could not like your books. But I honestly do love y'all's work.
Yes.
Um and so is you got any other comments on this one, Sean?
Other than I know nothing about the guy that's on the cover. You said that's Moltar?
Moltar is I think what they call them.
Okay. His power set looks pretty awesome. That's about all I can really think of to say. I think maybe I could tease this for a little bit. And once I get caught up, folks, maybe Jay and I will do our casting shorts on this, based on this book. Maybe we can do something like that.
That'd be good.
That'd be a fun one. I think Alan Dunford should play Space Ghost.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. So, all right, before I get to the next one, for some people that might not know this, I don't work for Dynamite. I want to put that out there right now. I work with Nick and them, and as far as the experience goes, I don't work for Dynamite. They don't pay me to do reviews. I don't do this to kiss up to them. But here lately, Dynamite has just been putting out some bangers, and the next one I got is the Terminator.
I need your boots, your clothes, and the keys to your motorcycle.
Hey, Triple B,
what's up?
y'all make sure to go check out BBB Hardcore Comics. You want to talk about a master reviewer of Dynamite books? Right there, unboxings. Dude does it all. He also has BBB Haunted Basement, which is his horror channel.
Yeah.
Big horror fan. Awesome. Make sure you check him out. Now, this book, I had some expectations going into it. And none of them were met, but I mean that in the best way. I was thinking I was coming into this and we were going to get Reese and Sarah Connor and all that. No, this was an original story.
Okay.
It was an original story. And we did do some time jump. We're in 2018 when this starts out with an older couple. And then it jumps back to 1979.
Hmm.
And this certain Terminator, which looks nothing like Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the way, has been following them this whole time.
Huh.
And the crazy thing is how this one ends feels like this was a one shot. I have no idea where they're going to go from here. But something else that's also cool, before I ask you about your thoughts on it, we had Sal Crivelli from Kpop on Tuesday night for a special talking shop with Miss Jen. He actually writes the backup story in this. And the backup story is pretty interesting. So I would tell people, if you end up checking this out, make sure you're reading that backup story because it's really good.
Huh.
And Sal is a great guy. Check out Kpop too. He's a great dude, great energy, real friendly. He was really awesome. So, Sean, as a likewise child of the '80s,
Mm.
growing up with these movies, how high is the bar for you on this one?
Well, if you're talking about just the two movies that were actually good, that would mean that the bar is real high. If you're going to throw in Terminator 3 and the stuff that came after, that'll bring the bar down a little bit. I don't know what to expect because, from what I understand, there's a pretty big universe that's been built around this, and I didn't watch much of like the TV show that's the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I haven't watched any of the anime yet to see what they do, so I'm not really sure what to expect, to be perfectly honest. That might be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. Yeah, it's hard to say. Based on what you're telling me, that's not something that I would have expected at all.
No.
Like almost sounds like a nice alternate reality story, but yeah. I wish I was as definitive as I was on the other two, but I don't know what I expect out of this, to be perfectly honest. I hope it's a really good sci-fi type story, though, because I do like my sci-fi.
Right.
And that's, if they can at least give me that. I guess I'll ask this. Maybe you can answer this without spoilery.
Mm-hmm.
You say it's a certain Terminator character. So how much of is this a lot of exposition?
Nope.
Or is this mostly imagery and there's not a whole lot of dialogue, period?
There's the exposition, and real quick, Mr. Nope, I'm 100% in agreement with you. I did think it was a little short, but Triple B, I think you're gonna love it, man. I think you're gonna love it. I can't wait to hear your review of it. There is some exposition, but it's very story driven. It's very story driven. You're gonna open this up and be like, okay, this isn't. And I'm not knocking Zenoscope. I'm a fan of Zenoscope too, but there's some of their comics. There's just like a wall of text.
Yeah.
There's like one panel that has like 17 boxes of exposition, deep thoughts.
And the image tells you the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem I've had with Zenoscope the last few years.
This is something where the next time we get on here, I'm hoping you had read, because I'm all three of these books, man. I'm super stoked for you to read. I really am. Like,
the good news is Batman should be here by Tuesday. So
I just remember where I was going. I'm glad I went back to that route. So because we don't get Marvel and DC, that's what I was talking about. This is my Space Ghost has been my superhero book. I had two favorite superhero books that I read this week, and they're tied for first. And that was Space Ghost and Batman.
yeah,
I have not been this big on Batman in a long time, but this book, I don't want to speculate. I'm not real big on this is going to be worth blah blah blah. But I want people to remember that a lot of people, myself included, slept on Something Is Killing the Children. Go back and see how much those first couple of issues are.
Hmm. As someone who tried to get 1 through 5 in the first print.
It's insane. I
Yes.
have a feeling that this one is almost going to be the same, but I have that feeling about comics in general right now are just, for me, just doing gangbusters in my viewpoint. You got the Ghost Machine universe, you got the stuff Dynamite's putting out, and now you got this all-in absolute thing DC's doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Ghost Machine universe, though, give that a few years. Let Jeff build that up, and if anybody picks that universe up, it's going to explode.
yeah,
But in the text of comics, collecting wise, yeah, Jeff is doing something special over there. But Jeff is one of the best universe creators that I mean, look what he did with the Lanterns in general.
yeah,
He took Green Lantern from being kind of a, what would you call it, a C-list character in some ways, and he brought the whole Lantern universe to the forefront and made it a big event. So,
yeah.
and now he's getting his chance to do this from scratch. So I think that, if anything, should show what Jeff's track record is.
Real fast, I'm hoping everybody's liking the chat being on display. I
Yeah,
mean, you notice we're not highlighting your comments, but this kind of makes it easier on us to answer you. So hopefully people are digging this because I really love having this over here.
that's my favorite feature.
Yeah. So my notes that I had have disappeared, but
Uh-oh.
I do remember that you wanted to talk about, and I'm really interested to hear other people's opinions on this too.
Yeah,
This has not necessarily been debunked, but I don't think it's accurate at the same time.
yeah.
But Pattinson in the DCU, that rumor that's going on right now. What are
Ooh,
your thoughts on that
let me sip my tea real quick.
before you spill it?
So, yeah, that's been kind of the talk online right now because James has been filling up most of the roles, yet we already knew Batman Brave and the Bold was coming, and yet he's done nothing with that universe. We don't even know when we're getting Lanterns, but he's already cast that, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So now people are just like, you might as well just bring Pattinson in as Batman because, A, that first movie was really good. I don't care what anybody says. It was great. And then everyone is raving about the Penguin series, which I haven't watched it yet, but just from his portrayal in the movie is so good. My issue is, though, if you're going to do that, what Brave and the Bold is supposed to be, do you now swap that to being the Elseworld story? Because you can't bring Pattinson in, and he's basically year one Batman, to being 40 some odd years old with a 10-year-old son, Damon. So you have to ask yourself, do you completely scrap Brave and the Bold? Or you just make it an Elseworld story? I would like to see that because getting more of the Bat family on screen would be great. We've had one live action. Well, no, I can't say that. We've had 2 live action Robins because we had you had Nick in the original '90s, movies, and then we got who was on Titans, Jason.
Oh,
We got Jason on there in the Robin costume, and I don't think they ever brought in Tim.
we hadn't watched.
Yeah, I'm not. That's
The
true.
rest of it. I think they did actually bring in Tim.
Okay, but even then, I think we even got the guy who was playing Dick Grayson on the show. He was in the Robin costume at one point before he donned the Nightwing costume.
Yeah.
So, but we haven't gotten that much stuff yet around it, and it'd be interesting to see a Damon Wayne Robin because he's been in comics for how long now? But he's a super popular character. So, But yeah, that leads to the question is like, do you bring Pattinson in because of how successful that has already been, or do you let that be its own thing and risk it overshadowing your Batman? Which I'm gonna go ahead and say something controversial right now. I think that's why Superman and Lois is ending because they are afraid that Tyler will outshine David. Yeah, I threw that smoke out there.
Or, yes, you want all the smoke, as the kids say.
Yes,
Um,
but and I'm curious what your thoughts are on it. Like, do you think that that makes sense, or should Pattinson's Batman be what it is? So that because his universe is so grounded and it's awesome, and I think that's actually what makes it as good as it is. You don't have to bring in the fantastical elements you would with Superman and the Lantern and Hawk Girl and stuff.
well, I'm of two minds. And part of me agrees with that, but part of me is Batman is fantastical in certain stories and stuff. Batman is pretty fantastical, but I do like the grounded stuff. I think Pattinson stays the Elseworlds. And I think I saw on threads when somebody said that DCU is looking for a middle-aged Batman, Gunn was like, BS. So it for me, it kind of depends on the age they want to make Damien. Because you think about this at 19, 20, 21, he could have a 10-year-old son and still be in his 30s. Even still, the kid could be 14 and he'd still be 35 if they go that route.
And that's true. That's true.
But it's one of those. Gunn has said that until we have a script written, I think that, I hope I'm getting that right. Until we have a script written, we don't cast, which is weird, kind of, because I don't remember them talking about having the lanterns written all the way. Maybe they just meant a couple episodes have to be written for when they do that. But I don't think we're definitely not making Brave and the Bold and Elseworlds thing. Brave and the Bold is going to be in the DCU. But something else that folks got to remember, even if Superman fails, I don't think it will. But let's just for argument's sake, even if Superman fails, everybody thinks that, well, if Superman fails, they're done with the universe. I don't think so. I think even if they have movies fail, instead of trying to pivot like DCEU did, I think they're just going to plow through the plan. We might not get a chapter 2 if that's what that means.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, if the movies don't do well, I don't think we'll get a chapter 2. But there's going to be a lot of things announced that I don't think we're going to see. There's going to be things, and that's just not, James Gunn. That's not just DCU. There are plenty of other folks out there that they have plans for movies and they end up getting scrapped. It happens.
Happens in the MCU all the time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how many times have we changed a name? Like Agatha All Along was something else, and then it was something else, and then it went back to Agatha All Along or something like that.
next Avengers movie, the next Avengers movie has changed names. I don't know how many times.
Hey, Lorena, thank you for joining us. Cool to see you. So, yeah, I don't think we're getting Pattinson. I think he gets a lot of unnecessary hate. Like there's some issues, yeah, but you got to take it as that's a year 2 Batman. And my main complaint with it was one that I already reconciled with myself. His Bruce Wayne is not a Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne is almost like Batman without the guy liner.
Right.
But he's still trying to learn how to adjust how he's supposed to be. It's kind of like Christian Bale. When he decides that they're going to go swimming in a fountain. He has to do stuff like that. He has to do things that makes him look like a jackass.
Yeah.
Because so people won't even draw that conclusion that he might be Batman.
Yeah.
And I think given Pattinson the chance to grow with this role, I think he's going to find something. Everybody keeps talking about Twilight. Okay, there's a Twilight fandom. We get that, but just like other actors that I tell people all the time, don't base how an actor's going to do a character based off of something like that. Okay, because the Heath Randy, what's up, man? The Heath Ledger thing is real. I have said this ad nauseum to people. I loved Heath Ledger in literally everything he was in. When I heard he was going to be Joker, I was like, man, I don't know. I don't think that's a good fit. I don't. And then he personally blew me away. He blew me away. There hasn't been anybody so far that has topped that for me. But I did the same thing with Tyler. Now the difference with Tyler is I was not a fan of anything Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Clark Kent Superman on Superman and Lois, which is a fantastic show. Final season is going on right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch that as soon as it's done. I didn't like anything he was in except for Road to Perdition, which I didn't know at the time was a comic book as well, where he played Tom Hanks' son. So I was still going to give him a chance, though, because Heath Ledger did that to me. Heath Ledger's the person that they cast Ben Affleck. I was like, got to give him a chance. I have to give everyone a shot solely based on the performance of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
And Tyler blew me away, and I've said it before, I've said it again. Love Henry Cavill. Of course, I don't have a Superman I dislike, honestly, but Tyler is my number one. Again, Christopher Reeve, George Reeves, own category. They get their own category. Tyler has become my number one Superman Clark Kent. His Clark is amazing and is exactly what Cavill's was missing. Was that nerdiness. Not like total buffoon, but just a little bit. Loretta, I wish I could quit you. But just that earnest, good person deep down inside. And there's some scenes in that show when he's not even Superman. He's Clark. He's the husband. He's the father. And he has some badass moments. But he also has some really funny moments.
The most badass moment, though, was him confronting the dad in the restaurant.
That's exactly what I was going.
My favorite Clark moment, though, is when he tried to tell Jonathan something. Jonathan didn't want to hear it. His girlfriend did. He's like behind him. That's one of the best Clark moments that there is.
Yeah, absolutely. If I tell people all the time, most of the people in this chat know it too. If you're on the fence thinking, "Oh, it's a CW show, I don't want to watch that," I'm telling you, give it a chance. I talked Ed Weird, our buddy, into watching it. He loves the show. He loves it, and I love that I was able to do that.
Yeah.
The whole point of doing what we're doing is bringing our love of things to other people, and hopefully getting some of the stuff y'all love for us to check out. Like that's the whole point. Want a positive community, just like the experience, except we're not going to sell anything. We're going to sell you on us.
Yeah.
So that all that to say, because I ramble in regular videos. Live, it's even worse. All that to say, I don't think Pattinson's going to be brought into the DCU. I think they're going to go for somebody close to, if not right at 40, close to 40, maybe even the halfway point of 30s.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they're making Pattinson the main DCU Batman.
Just go ahead and give us Alan Richardson, make us happy.
Yeah. And I don't know if you got to see that. Before we move on to the next topic, I don't know if you got to see it. But when we said something about that on In-Stores this week with Dan was like, he's too short. And I was like, that's because you're a giant, Dan. Dan's like 6'6". Okay? Dan Wickline is a huge man. Huge. So he makes Alan Richardson look small.
Like if Alan's too small, then Christian, Michael Keaton, George Clooney and Val Kilmer were midgets
That's true.
because Alan is 6'4" or 5.
See, and it's weird because Dan thinks he's 6'2", unless Dan was just kidding.
He could, well, knowing Dan, that could have been possible. But hold on, let's fact check this.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's only 6'3".
Oh well,
Okay.
only. I love how you people say only. I'm like 5'3" on a good day if I'm wearing shoes and standing on something. Uh, yes, round guy. Randy, I think again, I think Pattinson gets a lot of unnecessary hate, and I think there's a lot of people, much like Ben Affleck. I said when he first got cast, if people didn't like Ben Affleck anyway, they weren't going to like his Batman.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing about Pattinson. If you didn't like Pattinson, if all you ever judged was how he did in the Twilight movies, you weren't going to like his Batman either. I
If you want to get technical, we've had to wait like a decade because Dark Knight Rises was really, or was it Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah, because there was Batman, Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, that's pretty much the last solo Batman movie we got.
Yeah,
He's 6'5".
but he's talking about we're waiting 5 years in between the Batman and the Batman 2.
Oh yeah, but I don't know if a lot of that is as much Matt. Well, it might be Matt Reeves as much as it is Gunn, too. But I could be wrong. Matt, I don't know if the script's even done yet.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things. But I will say this before we move on from this topic. Here's what I'll say. I love the Joker, y'all. I do. I'm 6'5". If I've met her twice. Nice, Randy. Nice. I love the Joker. I really do. But it's time to bring in some other villains, and I don't mean bring in Scarecrow again. You can eventually, but I want to see some out there ones. I kind of want to see a Clayface. I know they're trying to keep it not fantastical, but even still, then you could do something along the lines of Professor Pig, but then that feels too close to the murder mystery thing. Um, and Randy, you're absolutely right. We can't keep measuring against the Dark Knight trilogy because there are so many great Batman stories. I get that. I think what that was though was Sean was trying to explain the time between solo Batmans. But you're absolutely right. I don't think we can either. Just like I can't keep comparing, and I don't usually, but I can't keep comparing Superman 78 to the newer Superman stuff. Yep, Clayface or Croc, Professor Pig, Victor Zsasz.
Zsasz makes a lot of sense for this universe. But then again, one of my favorite ones was Ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Loved him. Mad Hatter would be another one that's perfect for this universe.
Mm-hmm.
One that I think would be great, and you can almost incorporate her through a Court of Owls type thing, would be Red Claw from the animated series.
Yes.
I think that'd be kind of cool. That was always, the few times she appeared, that was always one of my favorite villains. That I was surprised, I guess, unlike Harley, she never really got into comics, I don't think. I don't think there's any stories, but that's a great character that I think would be awesome. Hugo Strange, that would be a great one.
Yes. I'm just saying.
The guy that played him on Gotham was great.
That was our old buddy B.D. Wong from Jurassic Park and Law and Order SVU.
He was so good.
This might be out there to a lot of folks. He's lost a ton of muscle mass, but Batista as Hugo Strange would be super interesting to me.
It'd give him a chance to be something different.
Yeah.
It really would give him a chance to be something different.
Yes. But I'm 100% behind Hugo Strange. It's just I love Joker, I really do, but man, we need some new villains. We can't keep boasting about Batman having the best rogues gallery of all time of all characters, and we use the same 3 characters for every live action. You know?
Pretty much.
All right, before we get too much more wrapped into Batman, thank you, Randy. Let's go on to the next topic, which is the Lanterns casting. Thank you. Nope. Uh, I'll just go ahead and say it. I love Kyle Chandler. I do wish we were going with the younger Hal, but I kind of get what they're doing.
Yeah.
But Aaron Pierre is freaking perfection to me. That dude looks like ripped straight from the Justice League Unlimited cartoon.
Yeah.
He looks amazing.
The sad part is I can't remember his voice that well, but
Phil Lamar, deep voice Phil Lamar.
okay. Yeah. Same thing for me. As much as it would be cool to get my Matt Bomber, Hal Jordan dream come true, for what they're doing, Kyle is an absolutely perfect pick. And that dude's so underrated. He's been in I can't think of one type of genre, maybe other than like horror, that he hasn't done some kind of role in.
I was a big Early Edition fan.
So
I loved Early Edition. That he got the newspaper from the future. I love that.
yeah. Dude's just versatile and he works. So it's going to fit. And then it was interesting though how quickly they confirmed Aaron, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's like, oh, nice way to show us." And James Gunn's never going to see this, but if you do, James, it was just a little interesting that you did that, because to me it speaks volumes about how much Hal maybe isn't that important in the universe. I could be wrong, but it almost seems like that. Or he just wanted to wait until he got his Jon Stewart. But that's going to be a dope one. I still wish it could have been David Ramsey getting John because of what they teased at the end of the CW verse. Yeah. But this is as good a casting going into an HBO series of all things.
Yeah.
So they're not going to hold back on this one being lighthearted for TV. So I think we're going to get a really, really cool Green Lantern, something that we've been lacking. And I'm going to go on record, though, as saying I don't hate the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. It was good. Mark Strong is the best Sinestro, and you're never going to convince me otherwise. But hopefully this brings the legacy of what the Lantern Corps actually is to a bigger audience. That's what I'm hoping that these two guys can do, because that is how good a casting I think the two of them are.
I hope that we get to the point where people are like, oh, wait, you mean there are other Lantern Corps out there? That's what I'm really hoping the series does. I hope it opens up to the other corps.
Well, see, there's already rumors about who's playing Star Sapphire. So that tells me that they're going to bring at least something.
That's true.
In there. Because, when most people think of the universes, you think of Star Sapphire. Sinestro is your only real link to the Yellow Lanterns, and then your two main Green Lanterns. But if we can see Red Lantern and everybody else, yeah, might as well just bring. He's going to be in makeup anyway.
And Randy, that's a completely fair opinion, boss. It really is. Things aren't going to be for everybody. I understand. If you watch Dan Wickline, though, Dan Wickline said the original script, the original ending, was so much worse.
I will say this, though. The Yellow Lantern suit looked better than the Green Lantern suit in the movie.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah. I have some opinions on this. Not really opinions, but more like just initial thoughts. I've watched some True Detective before. I think going for that vibe is kind of cool, since it feels like a lot of this is going to be Earth-based. But I'm hoping that we at least get a few galactic scenes, because for me, the DC movies had been missing. When they started the DCEU, I was like, you know what? Once Guardians hit, and I was like, y'all, people love Guardians. DC, it's time to go to space.
Yeah.
It's time to get out there. It's time to get off the ground. And, they didn't. So I'm hoping that the whole series isn't just them on Earth. There's a lot of rumors with this too, that it's a Lantern that's killed on Earth. That's why the two of them are investigating. People are speculating it's Guy Gardner if he doesn't die in the Superman movie. There's a lot of and these are all just rumors. These are all just fan theories. Fan theories are fun. Don't take any of this as fact. They're fun to read. They're fun to read. It's fun. It's fun to do this. Like it's great to see that people are excited to come up with like their thoughts and their theories about what's happening. I was watching another dude who he had a great thing about the actual chapter name. It's called Gods and Monsters. That doesn't necessarily mean good guys and bad guys, because there are some monsters that are good, and there are some gods that are not very good. So I think that's great. But I'm hoping that the vibe of the show is a mix between the True Detective and some sci-fi stuff, because we really need some good sci-fi. And it's lanterns. I mean, it's gonna be a little weird to not at least see them in the suits at least once. Which, again, we won't know until we know. We won't know until we see. So, but I'm really hoping that the Green Lantern suit designs are kind of better than the suit designs we've seen so far with other things. Kind of hoping we get something better. I understand that the Green Lantern and Superman, he's part of Lord Tech, and that's like a uniform that they wear. I get that. I'm just hoping we get something special with this, because there's a lot of Lantern fans, and a lot of them do kind of feel gypped from the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. So, yeah. But yeah, again, the casting. I think the casting is great. Again, y'all, look up Aaron Pierre. This dude, he was in what was it was a Netflix show, a Netflix movie. I think it's called Rebel Ridge.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched it yet. I heard it's excellent, but he's in that. He's the star. He's the star in that.
Yeah.
So that'll kind of give you a gauge. So
before we move on to the next bit of note here, real quick.
Hello there, Kai.
What's up? I'm going to address a rumor that I just read about.
Mm-hmm.
And this rumor is about 11 hours old, so you probably know about it already. But for anybody in the chat who maybe doesn't know, there are rumors now circulating that Henry Cavill is in talks for a full-time MCU role. Just going to put that out there. Is it a Wolverine? Is it Captain Britain? Is it something else? Don't know, but it's Henry, so I'm excited. I'm just going to quick little rumor. Just going to put that out there.
Yeah. Yeah, nope. I got it. I got to agree with you.
I can't take almost any of them except Mr. Fantastic seriously.
Oh. Kai, thanks for being here. You feel like you're new. I don't think I've seen that name ever, but this is only our second live, so
our first serious one.
Yeah, thanks for checking us out. Captain Britain would be a good role, but you did a fan casting once, and somebody told you a character that he would be perfect for, and I don't remember the name of the character. Was it Gladiator?
It might have been Gladiator.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know who Kai is.
Okay.
I think that's our niece.
Oh. Okay.
I think that's who that is. So, okay. I don't know, Triple B. I'm curious if they want to replace Hugh or not as Wolverine, given how wildly successful that movie was. But I'm not opposed to it for the X-Men universe, because they've got to bring the X-Men in there, and I'm not necessarily opposed to Cavill being full-time Wolverine.
Not at all. There's something that I said a long time ago before we even put videos on the internet. The one thing I talked about last time was I was hoping for a DC Studios back in 2018.
Yeah.
But the other thing I said was WB drag their feet with Henry. I don't want Henry to come back to DC. Okay. Hey, kiddo. All right.
I was right.
Okay. Hey,
I just remember that because of.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, what's up, kiddo?
Hey there, kiddo. That's in my living room right now. I don't want Henry to come back. They dragged their feet with them. They decided after BVS that they really didn't want to do anything with him. So if Marvel's going to use them, use them.
Yep,
And I think Deadpool said it best. I think they will definitely treat him better than DC did and be behind him.
yep. I mean, if I can't have him as James Bond, then give him to me in the MCU.
I don't think James Bond for him is ever going to happen.
I know, and it sucks because I want him to be. I want him to be Bond so bad. I'm honestly like I don't know who you follow Daniel Craig with, but that's for a whole nother live. Whole nother live because our next topic is something that Jay brought up to me earlier, and this is a thing for me because I do the voice so well. But it's the live action Stitch. And I know Jay's been anxious to hear my opinion on this. So as far as how he looks, I love it. I actually like the thing. I like that it looks like it's the same. Love you too, sweetie. I think it sounds like it's the same person that did all the voice for the movies and the TV show. So I'm good with that. Here's my reservations. Almost every live action adaptation that Disney has done of their movies has been not so great. And that is where I'm scared. I hope that this is good because Lilo and Stitch is one of my absolute favorites. As per I've got a Stitch shirt, a Stitch hoodie. Y'all bought me a little Stitch hula figure that I've got here in the apartment. That was a gift for Christmas and for the apartment. So, big Stitch fan. We all are. So I hope for the sake of that it is going to be good and Disney can finally kind of take that aura off of their live action stuff because I haven't seen any of them yet that I liked.
Yeah. And real quick, Triple B may be too sexy. Maybe too.
Mr. Note because
Yeah. Witcher.
I guess there's something I'm missing there with what happened with Witcher. I thought he left because he was going to be Superman again.
There was some other things that they didn't want to follow the source material, and Henry Cavill he's a nerd. He's kind of the poster child for us, but just ridiculously hot.
It's the accent. It's all about the accent.
I don't know, but and they turned that into, well, Henry Cavill's actually a toxic misogynist because it was a lot of female writers and people in their writing room, but I don't think that that's the case. I think it was just Henry didn't want to do things that was going to stray from the source material because, let's face it, he kind of did that with Superman. He loved playing Superman, but he wanted his version to be more like the version people talked about.
Yep.
But
and he never got to be that.
He never got to. So this was kind of his shot at doing, something on the source material, and created differences behind the scenes because they wanted him to do stuff that he was like, that wouldn't happen. And I've said it before, sometimes subverting expectations is okay, but to do things different just to do that, like years ago when they were going to make the Gears of War movie, and they were like, oh, it's going to be an alternate Earth Sarah, and I was like, yo, people don't even know about the regular Sarah.
Right.
Why are you going to do an alternate timeline?
Yeah. And you're going to sit here and people are going to go try to look at the source material and be like, huh?
Yeah, we want to. Yeah. Yeah.
But also, Henry is now on. They got that Voltron casting, which I think is kind of cool. I think that brings legitimacy to a live action Voltron.
Yeah, and I'm still like I know nothing of Warhammer, y'all,
Nope.
but having Henry behind it had me excited for it. Like I was willing to give it a shot. I don't play World of Warcraft, any of that stuff, but going into the World of Warcraft movie totally blind, I actually really dug that movie. But
Still,
people who play World of Warcraft, a lot of them didn't like it at all.
I
So
still, I still haven't watched that.
I thought it was really good. Okay, thank you.
Love you too.
Love you too. Uh, you know, I know we got to subvert expectations sometimes with things. Okay, I know that has to happen. We tried, or at least I'm gonna give him some credit. Again, just hear me out before you have your thoughts on him. I do like Snyder. Yes, he uses way too much slow motion. Yes, he could do some better things with characters, but outside of adding the giant octopus or squid or whatever it was in Watchmen, Watchmen was almost a page to screen adaptation. And that movie got so much hate.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like comic fans. We want it to be like the comics, but also comic fans. That's too much like the comics.
They can't. Fans.
It's, and everybody gets their opinion. Like I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just saying that that's honestly how a lot of folks are. You know, you know, we don't know what we're gonna like until it's presented to us. Sometimes, they were gonna do, like I said, they were gonna do that thing with Gears. I wouldn't know if I would have liked it or not. We never got that far.
which is
So
fine. That's fine. Just give us the universe as it is.
I know I still would have given it a shot because of my love for the universe.
Mhm.
Just like again and again, and I'll say it again. Uh, I do not like the Superman suit. I don't like it. I like elements of it. See, I really dug Watchmen Triple B. I really did. Um, but that's not going to ruin the movie for me. It's not. Uh, and yes, and exactly. Uh, but I'm not going to hate the movie. I'm not going to be like, you know what, meh, meh. I'm not going to be like that. It's not going to stop me from watching the movie because it's a Superman movie. Superman has had some terrible suits. He's had some really awesome suits.
as we learned, I got one gravely mixed up recently during a talk.
Yeah,
Thought the new 52 suit was the Rebirth suit.
yeah. See, the new 52 suit is the one that I don't care for.
Right.
And again, the trunks thing, I get people's apprehension with that. I get it. I know people don't like it. It's fine. I'm not going to convince anybody about the trunks. I'm not going to try to.
I can take him or leave him because, like I've told you, what I think is the best live action Superman suit is the Kingdom Come suit from Crisis.
Yeah. But
And that suit has the trunks.
yeah. Real quick, Randy, what was the fan film? Because we are on kind of a delay. So I'm curious to know which was the fan film.
I
Was
think
it?
I think he's talking about Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
And I am out of tea. All right.
So, but yeah, things like that are going to ruin it for me. Have to have the under. See, here's what I told people. I didn't immediately love the Man of Steel suit when I first saw it. My first question: where is Trunks? That was my first question.
And I was the exact opposite. I was like, oh my God, that is the greatest suit I have ever seen.
Now, I grew to love that one, and I've really tried to love this one. I had just gotten used to the damn suit not having the trunks, and then they bring them back.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't like the new 52 suit. I'm not a big fan of the collar. I didn't like the lines.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm going to have to look that up.
yes, 100%. I'm going to look that up later.
Thank you.
I didn't like the lines and all that. Now, when they changed it for Rebirth and still left the trunks off, I dig that suit. We got you now, Randy. We got it. Um, I did, they didn't put the trunks back on. I was like, you know what, that still works. The Rebirth suit, comics wise, became one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, same. And I guess you figure when I got into comics around that time was when Rebirth was really starting. So maybe I just associated that that's why the suit was like that, because all of the DC animated stuff, I don't think his suit had the collar on it. It was
Uh,
it was
there was,
there was okay.
yeah,
It's been a while. So I couldn't remember if he had it. I know he never had the trunks, but I couldn't remember if the collar was there in every movie or not.
yeah.
So
There was one that had the collar with the red ring that had the little V cut right here in it. I wasn't a fan of it.
no,
But
that I can understand for sure.
but real quick, let me run and grab it. Let me show you why the suit doesn't matter to me.
Waiting on host.
This is one of my favorite Superman stories. Can you see it?
Yep.
It's that suit. But it's one of Superman Unchained is one of my favorite Superman stories.
I need to borrow that from you one day. Yeah, so Randy, speaking of that, so Jay and I kind of we kind of came up with a plan. We found a store that has most of the covers for the Absolute Universe. So what we did is we each bought 2 covers each, where we've got a reader's copy, and at least for me, my other one is going to be a Get Signatures copy, and I'm going to do the same thing with Absolute Superman. So I get paid. When I get my paycheck next week, I'm going to order the same thing with Absolute Superman and probably get us Absolute Wonder Woman at some point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I can't wait, because I honestly have not read much DC, but I've avoided Superman and Batman like the plague for some reason. Kind of like I did with X-Men.
Yeah.
I haven't read a single X-Men comic really. And I need to get into it because obviously these are the big characters. What was I? So these are like the biggest characters. They're the ones that are gonna get the movies. There's oftentimes where you'll explain stuff to me from a movie, and I haven't read it, and I just don't know it. So I need to understand their mythos a little more. So I need to borrow Unchained from you for sure.
Yeah, and we still have a box of got to have a box of comics missing somewhere because I can't find my All-Star Superman. And while that's not my favorite, I know that's kind of what Gunn said he's basing a lot of, and I think he means the hopeful element. I think that some people are taking that a little too literal, and they're like, "Oh, well, he dies in that." I don't think he's talking about taking that element.
Yeah.
He's talking about just the goodness, because that one, Frank Quietly's the artist. Frank Quietly's very hit or miss with art for me, but there's a beautiful page in this where a young girl's about to jump off a roof,
Oh yeah.
and it's a very iconic page too. And Superman stays with her, and I think that's the element that James Gunn is pulling. He's not pulling the actual story.
Yeah.
I still need to finish Red Sun, but All Star Superman is good. I just prefer Superman Unchained.
To be honest, the only solo Superman stuff I've read was that Superman Earth 1 that I have. So Mr. Nobe, if you want Jim Lee's covers for Absolute Batman and Superman, go to Third Eye Comics website. They have Jim Lee's variants. So if you want them there, go to Third Eye Comics website and you can get them there.
I mean, maybe. Maybe because that book is selling out places, man. I think you hopped on it at the right time.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'll check for them right now, but like that's because that's what I ordered was the Jim Lee Absolute Batman cover, and I'm doing the same thing with Superman. So you keep rambling while I
It,
talk.
see, you want me to keep rambling while you talk or while you type?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, one of the two.
Don't
See,
judge.
I just got the A, but I also got that what was it foil logo cover.
Yeah, that's what I got as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. I see for me, folks, I'm not very big on getting different kinds of covers. Like there has to be kind of a really special one for me. But like, you know what? Instead of getting the regular cover, I want this one. And the logo cover is just awesome. Uh, some of you folks were in Friday Night Live. Yep, they're doing Wonder. Yep, Wonder Woman's the other one we're going to end up getting. You watched Friday Night Live and you saw. I wish that I could find other than eBay those foil covers that they had on the show because they had a Superman one because Lorena grabbed it. She grabbed the Superman foil, like that Shazam that I showed you,
Right.
and a Robin foil, and I think Randy got the all-in lantern cover that has like a group shot of lanterns. The foil cover, like those things are awesome. And yeah, Randy, the best thing, and I'm while he's looking that stuff up, I wanna brag on my job a little bit, y'all. Nobody from my job is watching this, like big people wise, people behind it wise. So I can say this: the one thing I truly love about my job, other than the awesome community we have over there. That's right. Nope, you got the bat. I couldn't remember who the first person to get one was. That was you. Other than the great community is Weekend and the Shazam. That's right, Randy. Thank you.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have this great community of folks. Everybody's just awesome, but also these folks can be your LCS. They can be that for you. And Nancy is great. Henri, love Henri. Mint Hunter's really great. And then we have Comic Collectibles. Um, they're 2 shows a week.
Okay.
But
So Jim Lee Absolute Batman sold out on Third Eye's website. The Superman cover though is still there. So if you want that, Mr. Note for Superman, uh, Third Eye website has it now.
yeah,
With a
yeah. I really, dude, like people. There's some people when I'm on the experience think that I say the stuff I say just to say it. I really don't. I love the folks there. Everybody. I've been able to work with everybody on the channel, all the different channels. Mog and Mel met Mog and Mel in person. They're freaking delightful. I love the two of them. It was very awesome to get to meet
Mel has
them.
one of the best lines to you ever, though.
Yeah,
You're how old?
yeah, exactly. I haven't met Nick in person, but I love Nick to death, y'all. How Nick is on screen is pretty much how Nick is. There's not anybody on the planet that's going to convince me Nick isn't a great person.
Yeah,
He really is.
100%.
I've gotten to meet Kyle in person. Went to help Kyle with PoFest last year. Love Kyle. I don't just say this because he's my boss. I'm not a suck up. It's much to my detriment a lot of the times in my life. I'm not a suck up, but Mog is very pretty. Especially in person. Mog is she is gorgeous. She really is. Um, but all the people there, I love being there. I love the community that we have there. That's kind of the community I'm hoping we get over here. Um, just folks being nice and being positive and talking to each other like they're friends. Randy, that's 100%. Again, that's fair. I love that you have found a show that you trust. And Nancy's amazing. I talked to her, y'all. When the show ends, I'm usually on screen with her until Nancy and whoever's there leaves, and it's almost midnight. Nancy and I talk for a long time after the show. And Lorena, love you too. And I'm so happy that I got to meet a lot of you through the experience, man. I really am. Like, I'm very sincere when I tell y'all I love my job and I love the folks there, and y'all are included in that. I don't just say that. Yeah, you don't want to watch any other shows. You got your one show you want to pick. Cool. If you want to watch shows and just just comment and never buy anything, that's great. We love having the interactions. Like, our group of people are so great. Yeah, y'all. I watched the show. I watched the shows before I was even a part of the experience. Granted, there were some shows I liked more than others until I was on the show. Full disclosure, comic collectibles wasn't really my thing until I was working on the show. Once I started working on the show, it's just like it's one of my favorite shows to watch. But so is Chuck with 3T. Chuck, got to meet Chuck. Chuck's awesome.
I haven't met Chuck, but Chuck, I can imagine, has got to be like
He's
a ball of energy.
he's so great. Yeah,
Like,
like I don't yeah
figure, I get to go to our con for the first time, and Chuck moves.
yeah. Like, and I hope folks understand what I'm saying. You know, it's not a hey, we should watch the experience or we should watch Hydrasylum because this dude says nice things. I do say nice things, but I mean them. And I hope everyone out there knows that I mean what I say. I would not push my job that hard if I wasn't into it, because that's not on here. This is Hydrasylum stuff. But I love my job so much that I want to bring that in. I want to bring that into here. Eventually, we're hoping we can bring this into the experience. But exactly.
Maybe we might keep this for ourselves. We don't know. That's
True. True, but yeah,
you get to live the dream, though. You get to work.
It really is
in the comic industry and around the comic industry. I work in a dispatch desk, and this is my escape from it. So, full disclosure for anybody who wonders what I do, not that anybody cares, but I work for a maritime transportation company here in where we live in Texas. And it's the biggest one that's here in the Gulf. Doing it for 14 years. It's not that I hate my job. My job, I wouldn't still be doing it if these people weren't good to me. But man, if I could trade places with Jay to do something that I truly am passionate about, I would. I told Kyle, if he pays me what I make it work, I'll leave.
The experience wouldn't exist if we tried to pay you. We'd have to build 8 other channels.
Yeah.
Like the experience to pay you.
But yeah, so like you heard, anybody who might have been here at the top who heard me say, for now, my schedule is I'm off on weekends. And that's because I went through a change recently where they've put me in charge of training literally almost every new employee they brought in to dispatch. So it could change again. Oh, Lord. Mike Teener's here.
Again, y'all.
Bad
Go
Bug.
check out Bad Bug Media.
Yes. Top 3 books you need to check out.
Come on.
I'm not going to plug any of Alan's books because Alan was here.
Okay.
So you need to look up His Name is Wrath.
Midnight Highway?
I can say Midnight Highway. Well, no, because I got to do this because it's got Dead End Moon.
Oh, yeah.
Vanya is a really cool one.
What about the new team up, bro?
I don't.
Garrett.
So, oh yeah, that's right. The Dream Team. Garrett teaming with Bad Bug. So, Fangers that just finished on. But that one won't be available for a while. Like all the ones that I just mentioned, you can go onto their website and buy them right now. I could literally recommend every book in their entire library to you. Literally. But yeah, check out their library. If you ever get a chance to meet Mike at a con, he does go, especially if you're in the kind of like the northeastern part of the country. You'll catch him there. So 100% check him out.
And Mike is fantastic no matter what he tries to tell you. We love Mike. Mike is Mike is awesome. He tells us all the time. He's like, "Man, I need y'all to tell me. I need y'all to be honest with the books and stuff." And I'm like, "You write a bad book, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll give you a bad review.
You have not had a bad book under your umbrella yet, boss. So sorry. I'm going to keep telling you your books are great. And I know you're in here, and I know that he's not, but I did mention his name, Garrett Gunn, folks.
Yep.
If you have not read Warcorns, which is amazing, if you have not read Good Boy, which is kind of like an inverted twist on the John Wick story where the human dies. I have a bit on ASM 44.
Dude, I hope you get that.
Where the human dies and the dog seeks revenge.
Yes.
That's awesome. And just
and then it grew into this epic universe.
he had a whatnot thing today, and I told him, I said, he is the Tinian and Cullen Bunn of the indie world. He has so many ideas, so many different ash cans and starts of books out that it's amazing.
I need Blind Justice like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I talked to him about that too.
Trying to remember what else was on our notes because we had something after the Stitch movie. Do you remember what the last thing was after the Stitch?
No. And I wish I knew. My comics are not in order, Mr. Nope, or I'd show you my Good Boy Omnibus. That thing is beautiful, but my comics are not in order. And again, I don't think I have all of them unpacked. So, damn, I wish I did so I could show it to you because it's nice.
Yeah, Jay has all the Good Boy stuff because I do not. Who's looking for the Good Boy Omnibus?
Mr. Nope.
Right. Mr. Nope, I'm going to sign into the chat here in just a second. I'm going to post a link because you can get it from Four Colored Fiend's website right now. So give me a second.
I wonder if you can do that because you're a guest. We're still learning stuff on here, folks.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Because I know for the experience, it has to be the producer that puts stuff in the chat.
Oh, okay. You want me to send it to you on Facebook real quick?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
That way I can just go ahead and...
One sec, sir. I got you. But yeah, there we go. If somebody's searching for an omnibus and I know that it's available, here we go. All right, there you go. And now I'm going to go back out. That's one thing I do like about lives. If somebody's got a question, I can answer something like this real quick.
Yes. Let me... Where's my copy?
Right now, we're yapping about anything Garrett Gunn. Any of Garrett Gunn's books. So if you've got a favorite Garrett Gunn story, feel free to drop it in the chat. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But I guess since we don't really remember what our last note was after Stitch, and I know we had something, but this goes to show what is your expectation for absolute Superman after reading the Batman story?
So here's what I'm gonna say. The premise, I will get to that one as soon as I answer this. The premise of him not having the Fortress of Solitude, not having the Kents, not having a home is very intriguing to me. It's kind of I've always had this feeling is his goodness from deep inside, or is it solely based off of how the Kents raised him and the values that they instilled in him? And I know we get some of that in Red Sun, but I haven't read Red Sun in a while. But I also haven't actually finished it. I think we're going to see how him not having the Kents affects how he uses his powers. You know, does he even have a secret identity? Blah, sorry, identity. There you go. Does he even have one, or does he's just Kal-El Superman 24/7? Does he? How did he even get the name Superman? Is that still a thing Lois gave him? Like, there's I got a lot of questions, and I think Grandma Chainsaw is an amazing letter to 80s horror movies and slashers.
Yes.
And if you're into it, the title says it all, but it also does so much more.
Yeah.
So that's
Top three greatest comic of all time.
yeah,
I said what I said.
yeah.
I said what I said. That's a top three comic all time for me. And not just because Alan wrote it. It's just that good.
Yeah.
I had that much fun reading it.
So what do you think? What do you think about? Is Superman coming out next, or is it Wonder Woman? I can't remember the order.
It's Superman. To be perfectly honest, let me Google.
Because honestly, it doesn't matter which one comes next. After reading Absolute Batman, I'm excited for all of them.
Okay, so Absolute Superman does not come out until December. Wonder Woman.
I have watched Hamilton a very unhealthy amount of times. I actually really dug it.
Hamilton is awesome.
Something Beneath the Trees is one that Kyle read and I haven't. And I really should get on. That's a good suggestion. I need to write that down. Superman is this week?
Is it really? Okay, hold on. It shows Wonder Woman is October 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
See, it. Hold on. I see. I'm getting a whole lot of different things. I'm seeing like November 6th, December on DC Infinite. League of Comics says it's not coming out until January. I'm so confused now.
Well, it's now he says that you're right. It was pre-order.
Oh, okay.
Pre-order.
Well, we're probably going to end up pre-ordering all our Superman covers just because I need it.
Okay, so Randy says it's next month.
Okay, so
Dude, that's okay, man. Sometimes it's so hard to figure out when something's coming out.
Hey, achievement unlocked. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Who are our favorite Marvel characters and why? I'll start with this one. That's easy. Daredevil. That is my favorite superhero. Not just of Marvel. Daredevil is my favorite hero, period. I can't explain to you why he's been my favorite since I was a kid before I ever read a comic. The first time I saw him on the Spider-Man series on TV, I was just like, who is this dude? And just thought he was the coolest thing. Then we got the movie with Ben Affleck, which is, again, underrated but great. And then the Netflix series was one of the best TV shows ever. As far as comics, that Kevin Smith book that Jay got me, so far, that is one of the best Daredevil stories ever.
Is that the Quesada and Joe?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a legendary team right there. That was it.
That's a good answer.
So, that's, yeah, and I agree with that. That is very much what Hulk is like. Even though I've never read a comic of Hulk, but his stuff looks cool.
It's very hard for me to pick a favorite. I mean, most people know I'm a humongous Deadpool fan. I'm very basic though, because I also love Wolverine, Punisher. I love Spider-Man mainly because when I was younger, I didn't get comics really. Like I couldn't buy them. I never really got them. Like I didn't start getting a collection until like way later. I read other people's stuff. But comic strips, I used to get in trouble all the time because I would be the first one to grab the newspaper, tear through it, and get to the comic section, and just leave a heap of papers on the table, and then lay on the ground and read the comic strips. Um, but
Yeah, I think Gambit's always been another favorite of mine as well. Deadpool, in all honesty, I had no idea who he was until you and I became friends. And I want to say it was really when you started playing that video game that I started paying attention to him.
yeah,
Wolverine, Wolverine. Yeah, I actually was. I'm going to get in trouble for this. I thought Cyclops was kind of cool.
there's a lot of people that like Cyclops.
Um,
Bishop, Bishop is one of my dude. I love Bishop, and the
of course,
fact that he got used in X-Men '97, the cartoon, made me happy. Haggard the Heart, you're absolutely right. Beetle Bailey and Family Circus and Boondocks. Yeah,
then of course Magneto, but
yeah,
he's one of the greatest villains of all time. Period.
yeah.
There's a lot of other Marvel characters. Oh, Iron Man, because
Yeah.
again, because of the Iron Man cartoon in the '90s, which was actually kind of cool.
Here's the thing that gets me. Since you got me started on Iron Man now. It's so weird for me to hear the phrase Marvel started their universe with D-list characters. Nobody knew who Iron Man was or Thor and Hulk and all this, and I'm like, yeah, I watched the cartoon when they did the theme song switch between the two seasons of Iron Man.
Yeah,
I watched the Hulk cartoons. I watched the Fantastic Four. Just call for four. Do 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 do. Fantastic Four. Yeah, I watch those all the time. So when I hear, and I remember seeing in reruns, obviously, I watched things like Batman 66, The Monkeys, which has nothing to do with that, but and The Incredible Hulk, Bill Bixby. Um, I remember an episode with Thor in it. So as an older person, I'm like, but how? What? When in the world? But apparently, according to folks, these characters they used weren't A list because Spider Man was your A list, and you know a good majority of the X Men they were your A list. It's like, but thank you, uh, but it's just it's weird because it's one of those things where you hear D list, and especially when it's a character you've loved since you were a kid, and you hear things like that, you're like, well, what makes them a D list? It's the same thing with we had the thing when we were uh, doing fan casts. Some people got upset with not upset, but they were like, "Why would you cast unknowns? This isn't the CW." And I'm like, "But how do you know someone's an A-lister? Because
until
they didn't just come out an A-lister.
yeah,
Somebody took a chance on them, and they proved that they were an A-lister. So you
yeah.
got to take a chance with things."
But the closest thing you had at the beginning was RDJ.
Yeah, and that was his comeback.
Mm-hmm.
He had fallen out of grace
Uh,
with Hollywood.
little update here, sir.
Hmm.
494.
We're at 494 now.
Yeah.
Y'all, we are 6 subs away from 500. I never thought
Speaking of that, should I go get the thing?
thing.
The thing for 500?
Yes, actually, you should. We're very close. Why not?
Okay. 1 second.
Okay. And he didn't mute his mic, so he can still hear. Oh, there he goes. Okay. 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 Well, all right. Randy, thank you. I like that. That actually makes sense now. I didn't know what they were based. That does make sense, but that's again, it's very weird to me before thinking of it that way. Honestly, now that I think about it, it's like, well, I would definitely see Spider Man outselling Iron Man, but as a kid, I didn't think of things that way. I thought of it as, but he's got cartoons. He's fighting Mandarin with the actual Ten Rings. Uh, War Machine was in that car. Like, it was awesome. But seeing if it was based off the sales. See, all right. So anime manga is a little bit harder for me because I don't read a whole lot of manga. Anime wise, it's older things, but there's some stuff that I don't even know the name of. Um, Fist of the North Star is up there. I love Fist of the North Star. You're already dead. Love that. Um, there was one that was called Trinity Blood. It was about a priest who kind of acted like a goofball, but was actually a trained vampire killer. There was nope. I don't hate Dragon Ball. I just could never get into it.
I can't get into Dragon Ball. I can get into Dragon Ball Z. GT was okay. Super was really good.
See, that's the person that you talk to about Dragon Ball.
All right, so I've got the thing, Jay.
Black Clover, Tokyo Ghoul. I've seen episodes of those. Jenna's the anime fan.
Yeah,
She is the
Jenna,
one who watches that one time I came back as a slime because I reincarnated in a dungeon where I cooked food for the Dragon Ball and then I married a girl or picked up a girl in a dungeon and then Golden Error 5Z. It almost sounds like a Dynamite cover.
right?
All
Okay,
right, let's see it.
so real quick, for everybody in here, I guess should I pull it out so that the reflection is not too bad on screen?
You should always pull it out.
Uh,
That's about as R-rated as we're gonna get.
yep, because we have kids in here.
True.
All right, so folks, I'm doing this out of my own accord. I told Jay, I was like, it'd be something cool. So we get to 500 subs. We are going to give away this signed Shadowhawk #1. It is signed by Jim Valentino. Not sure how we're going to do it yet, if it's going to be like names or something, but we're going to give this away if we reach 500 before the end of the year, which we're 6 away now, so I think that's going to happen. So now you know, secret's out.
I think I can do a randomizer and just I have to check it out because I obviously can't use the StreamYard tool for this.
Yeah.
But there should be a randomizer or something I can find. Then we'll share the screen and then we can do it that we'll get all that figured out before we do the drawing. So we're not trying to do that live. Everything else we're doing, we're testing it as we go. Yeah, we test it as we go. I had some of this stuff set up beforehand. Can you have it? No, you can't have it. Well, unless you're a subscriber and you end up winning it.
Yeah.
But that'll be the only time family can win stuff.
And even then, maybe.
And then I would just we'll see.
We'll see.
You might actually get lucky because if you subscribe and you end up winning it, we're gonna give it to you, of course, Yeah. But man, it's so weird. So I had 4 things in my notes. I had the comics, I had the Battinson, I had the Lanterns, and I had Lilo.
Okay. So maybe that was it.
The problem is, once I started the stream, the notes disappeared. So apparently I have to do the notes in the stream.
Either that or we're just going to write them on a notebook sheet of paper.
True. I think that the notes thing is probably while the intro's going, I just take some stuff down. But it's just, it made it a little bit better that I typed it out. Because while doing it and it just erased when we started the live, it was like, oh, okay, I still kind of remember what we were doing.
And to answer Booger's question, no, I've actually never heard of that. Now I've got to find out if that's on Crunchyroll, and I'll try to see if it's there and check it out. Because if it's actually about skateboarding, I'm down because skateboarding is awesome.
Dude, there are some of these animes that the titles are exactly what you get. And then the titles, this could be about samurai for all you know.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, but yeah, like there are some that you named and had fun with, but that time I got reincarnated as a slime, that's dead on the nose. That's so exactly what happened.
really is, and I I make fun of the stuff, but I uh I enjoy it too. That's why there nothing I when I make fun of anime, it's definitely not mean spirited. It's
Unless
just
unless it's Food Wars, then
okay.
you have a ball with that one.
Yeah, Food Wars I can't even hate on. Food Wars is just something that you wouldn't want to watch with a family member, not in the room watching it with you. That's like somebody walking in on you watching that
Oh, okay.
makes you feel like they caught you watching late night Skinamax or something, but it's not. That's the worst part. Like
It's
this is the show that wants to get you in trouble, and you're not doing anything wrong.
yeah. Okay. Well, now I know what this show is about. So if I can find it on Crunchyroll, I'll check it out. I might have to maybe one day I'll bring back Mega Madness. That's something we did here. But Jay wants me to bring back Retro Rewind first. So
Yep.
sound off in the comments now. Any and retro meaning anything that's already out, big comic stories you think I should read. And I can tell you right now, I have not read most of them. I just read Civil War last year.
The first and only I've heard of that one. Haven't read Beast or haven't watched Beastars. I've
Yeah,
heard of it though.
same.
Um, the first and only retro rewind we have is the Civil War one.
Yep.
And now, granted, this was before we had the little boom we had. I think if we kept up with that series, just having you read things like because I'd love for you to read Secret Invasion and then maybe watch an episode of Secret Invasion to see the differences between show and the book.
Well, that'd be like having me go back and read Red Sun, and I've watched the movie, which I thought was fantastic.
Yep, but a lot of people thought Civil War was fantastic until
No.
they read the comic and realized how much better the book is. That's an opinion. You can
No,
think that the movie's better than the comic if you want to.
that's fine, but it's not Civil War.
Yeah.
It's Avengers like 2.5, but yeah, because Civil War is ooh, the book is so good, dude. And I kind of wanted to read some of the side stories, but yeah, Hush, Dark. Oh yeah, those are
Oh,
two that have been Dan Wickline's been trying to get me to read.
okay.
You thought you were when I said Civil
Yeah,
War, you saw this? Yeah, he's talking about Batman Hush.
I got you. I got you now. I was like, man,
Dan Wickline's been trying to get me to read Hush for like a year and a half.
yeah, I have Dark Knight. It was one of those when they were doing the big oversized hardcovers that had the DVDs in the back of it.
Oh, that's right. You do have that. I forgot.
So I have that. Hush, I don't think I have, but it's
No,
definitely one of those on my purchase wish list.
yeah, I'm gonna get because the hardcover of Hush I want so bad. Then I guess I probably should. If we're talking Batman stories now, I need to read The Long Halloween before the sequel thing that's coming out for it releases because somebody's coming out with a sequel to The Long Halloween.
Yeah. Hush is yeah, I got you. I got you. It was funny because I thought you were telling me to hush.
Because we were talking bad about the Civil War movie.
It was just timing on our end. It probably showed up earlier for you. I want to say that there's like an 8 to 10 second delay between this and YouTube. I can't remember which way it goes though. I think it's y'all are 8 seconds
Behind.
behind us.
Yeah,
I think.
I can tell you that when I went in there to post the link
Yeah.
the first time around. Let me think. Okay, I'm going to cover one more thing because we
Okay.
were talking about this a little before off air.
Mhm.
I want to know if folks are excited about Sonic 3 because the Sonic the Hedgehog movies have been. What up, cuz? By the way, welcome back to Texas. Welcome
Oh,
home.
is he back?
Yeah, he came back this week. He's back
Oh,
now.
that's awesome.
So You will get to meet Arya Grace very soon because
Oh,
Stevie lives. They got a house like 15 minutes from you guys.
oh, Stevie, love you, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad we get to see you eventually. We'll have to get something together.
Yeah, it'll be a few weeks because of busy, but it'll happen for sure. Um, but I want to know what folks think about because the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, once they fixed Sonic after all the fan backlash, I was not expecting that first movie to be as good as it was. And then I was afraid that the second one would kind of have that sophomore curse that
Yeah.
very few trilogies have ever not had. And the second movie to me was just as good. So now we get Keanu Reeves' Shadow. I mean, I'm stoked. I don't even remember if it's out yet. It may be already out.
I can't remember. I will say this: as somebody, I didn't grow up in a Sega household. You know, I was lucky. I had a Nintendo that my grandmother got me for like my 10th birthday, I think, maybe ninth. And I had that thing until I was cutting grass for the lady next door when we moved here. I think I was 15 or 16 before I finally got like a 64. So you're gonna hear the pup barking in the background probably. Um, so how I knew of Sonic was solely the cartoon with Jaleel White, Urkel. Yeah,
Uh,
don't you
okay,
be
it's coming
sorry.
out in December, 5 days before Christmas.
Okay. So, you know, I'm gonna it's one of those things too where when they first showed the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm not wild about the design. It looks too human and everything. But I'm like, I'm not sure how, the actual Sonic design would translate to the screen. Now, folks went about it excuse me, went about it in a way where it wasn't really bullying. There were just people like, man, I don't dig the design. Like the premise looks cool, the trailer's good, but I just don't like the design. Some people are like Ugly Sonic, who ended up in the Chip and Dale movie, I think. Um, the humanized teeth were scaring them. That's all this stuff. The director took all this stuff into consideration. It was like, you know what? Y'all are right. Your opinions, they matter to us. We're gonna redesign and see what we can come up with. Now, I am sad that we didn't get the same trailer with the new Sonic
Yeah.
because I thought that trailer was banging. Like I love that trailer. But when I first saw the redesigned Sonic, I was like, okay, that works.
Yep.
And a part of me thought at first that maybe that's why the movie did so well was that people were like, hey, this studio listened. They didn't call us, you're going to get what you get and that's all you're going to get. Exactly. Exactly, Stevie. Exactly. And I think that benefited them. I think a lot more people gave it a chance because of that.
Yep.
And, you know,
And then the movie was just that good.
I
And,
thought, yeah,
and
the
it
movie was
was a
great.
return to Jim Carrey, like vintage Jim Carrey.
Yep. And it's one of those situations where Detective Pikachu, Ready Player One, you can kind of count, but it's not really a video game. That's more of
And,
Easter egg the movie. As
yeah.
much as I loved it,
Yep. Uh-oh. I don't know if we lost Jay or if he's just glitching, but he's frozen. Uh, But anyway, yeah, he's right. Ready Player One was a very much an homage to just all video game fans. Uh, but hopefully we'll figure out what's going on with Jay here in a minute. Oh, Jay lost power. Okay. Well, I guess that's fun. I've never actually had the host of a live lose power in the middle of it. So that's interesting. Jeez. Okay, so now I guess it's just up to me. Well, I'm live as it is. This is fun. All right. Well, anyway, but yeah, no. Ready Player One was great. Well, this is fun. Does anybody have any topics they want to talk about for now? Until I can figure out how. Yeah, Ready Player One was awesome. Just an homage to all kinds of video games and gaming in general. It was amazing, and I'll tell a story about that. So I was excited for the movie when it was coming, and when it came out, I was admittedly, for anybody who knows me, my cousin in the chat here can confirm, I was not in a good headspace. So when the movie actually came out, it's time to watch it. I was just not in a good headspace, and I was like, no, I have no interest in that. And then when I finally watched it after I got my head on straight, yeah, it's one of the best movies ever. So as far as the new Dragon Ball series, no idea because I don't know anything about it. Not gonna lie to you. I literally just rewatched the entire Tournament of Power on Dragon Ball Super recently because that Goku versus Jiren fight is probably the best fight in all of Dragon Ball, in my opinion. So, give me 1 second. Of course, I'm trying to talk with Jay in the background because without him here, I don't know how the live works because he's actually the host. So, pardon the small, strange silences here and there. Anyway. Oh. But anyways, super huge thank you to everybody that's been in here talking with us. We were not sure what to expect or if anybody would even hang out with us tonight because it's Saturday. I'm sure y'all got better things to do. Unless you're a dad like Stevie, you know, he's got to put his girl to bed, so he doesn't do anything but sit at home now. Is everybody still here with me, or am I talking to myself? Okay. Well, I will open up the floor then to like Round Guy, Mr. Nope, if y'all are still here. I know y'all were naming off Batman stories I need to read. What are some other big comic stories that I need to do? I know there's a lot of X-Men. I haven't read any of the actual Infinity Saga. The Dark Phoenix Saga is one that's on my radar. So like any other stuff like that, you know, from Marvel, let me know. I still haven't read the actual Crisis on Infinite Earths. Oh yeah, for sure, Lorena. For sure. I mean, you can't be talking about comics and not have a good time. You got to have a great sense of humor. Just have fun with this. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, Goku especially because Goku understood how to use emotion and how to channel energy into different things. Planet Hulk, World War Hulk. Okay. Which one is the first of those two? I always forget. Is it World War Hulk? Aha! He's back.
So let me explain to folks what happened. So a we had this weird power surge in our guest bathroom with the exhaust fan. So now when the exhaust fan gets turned off, it knocks out half the house's power. It flips the breaker outside. Now we have a guest over and it's okay, and I hope she can hear me because it's okay. It was an accident. We didn't tell her. So when she shut it off, it shut the power off to this part of the house.
Whoops.
Guys, love y'all.
It,
Bye.
it's all right.
We're not mad.
Yeah, not mad at all. It's okay. Accidents happen. We didn't say anything, so
Yeah, don't feel bad at all.
so
Mr. Nope, I have read Blackest Night. Blackest Night is amazing.
I have most of those hardcovers.
You know what? I don't even want to talk to you right now about that, Jay. Okay?
You still mad about that after all these years?
I am still mad about that almost 10 years later, yes.
Yeah.
Flashpoint, the animated movie, duh. That movie is so good.
The movie really is good. I think you have some Flashpoint stuff too, but I have Flashpoint.
I have one of the preludes to Flashpoint. I don't have Flashpoint Paradox and actual Flashpoint.
The
You
world
have
of Flashpoint Batman.
Yeah, I have the one where you get like the motorcycle thing, and then you, being the prick that you are, have a very pristine, probably didn't open it until like a year ago, collection of the Blackest Night and all the side stories in hardcovers that you bought for like $50 on eBay,
It was almost 90, but still,
and we could never find anything like that ever again.
that was the best deal I ever saw.
Yep.
And I saw some earlier.
Jay, do you remember like what Randy's saying? Is it Planet Hulk before World War Hulk? In order.
Yes, and I think that's also the order he likes them in too. I can't remember if that was him that said that or somebody else on the show.
Okay.
No. It was somebody else on the show because he was looking for a black and white World War Hulk #1 variant, I believe.
Okay. He's trying to tell me which order to read them in.
Okay, then yeah, it is going to be Planet then World. Because World is when he gets back.
Okay.
Yeah, Stevie, they're good. And I saw one on here from Booger. Opinion on Deadpool multiverse. Did you see that on here?
Yes, I saw that. If we're talking about the last movie, what is there not to like about Deadpool Wolverine? We got everything you could have ever wanted. We got a Cavalry sighting, which we never thought we'd get. He came out of hiding. We all got the gambit we have been dying for since we were kids. And no offense to Ryan, Channing Tatum did look better. So, yeah. But yeah.
I have heard great things about Batman Offworld, and I know for some Jason Aaron is kind of polarizing, but I actually enjoy Jason Aaron's work. So I definitely want to check that out.
Is he the one that is doing the Turtle series that I like the first issue of?
Yes.
Okay. Then I am apt to check that out then.
Yeah. As far as the multiverse thing goes, I'm happy we got the movie. I really am. But I'd like for us to chill on multiverse for just a while. Just a little while. Like, multiverse is going to become zombies and vampires pretty soon.
True. Of course, granted, at least in this one, though, they had to do it to get him in the MCU and whatnot. So now we've got him, and it's great. Okay. How do we all enjoy?
Loved it. I hope I'm that good looking when I'm 90. Dude, right. Shredded to hell and back.
I know. Channing, for me, was the highlight of the movie, getting to be Gambit.
I think if they make this more fabric-y, I think, or take it off altogether.
I'm good with
the hair,
but they need to CGI the eyes.
Yeah,
Gambit's kind of black with the pupils. But other than that, it was as good a version of Gambit as you're ever going to get. And of course,
he was announced to be Gambit years back.
I know.
Years. So if there's anybody that missed some of those in jokes about him not even getting a chance to do anything or thinking he was born there, that's why. Yeah. He's been only, I don't want to say it's a Rock level of being cast for a character where, you've been Black Adam for 20 freaking years.
Yeah. But it was close. It was probably somewhere 7 to 8 years.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And Jenna is one of the only people that can still understand him.
Yeah.
Word for word, she can understand what he's saying.
Yeah. And you know what? There's no offense because I really do like, and I'm going to butcher his name and I apologize, Marshala Ali. there's there's only been one Blade, and there's probably only ever going to be one Blade, and that's Wesley Snipes. 100%. Let's see.
I love how we all forget though about the TV show.
One, get the juice, step two, be rich, and hire someone to slap cookies out of your hand. Oh, that's superb. That is superb, Randy. Well done.
But yeah, it almost feels like though that people forget about the Blade show.
Yeah, Sticky Fingers was the dude's name, Sticky Fingers, and I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time because that was Spike. I think that was like a Spike TV show. Anybody else still out there remember Spike?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and from what I remember, I don't think the show was that bad.
Oh, dude, there's people that praise that show to high heaven.
Yeah.
There's a that it's maybe not a Firefly kind of fan base, but it definitely has a fan base.
Yeah.
Well, just like the fans. Yeah, I think Ryan really listened with some of these casting choices. The weird thing is, good. I hope you enjoyed Grandma Chainsaw, and I hope you enjoy Umbrella Academy is really good too.
I'm not really Umbrella Academy, and I know that's a fairly big undertaking, right? 3-4 volumes of that one, if not more.
There might be more. I don't remember exactly. It's Gerard Way's book from My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the only thing that's been weird to me with the whole Deadpool Wolverine movie is if you go to IMDb and you're trying to look up, who certain actors are, some places will tell you, well, they replaced this person. Then other places will be like, no, this person, oh Jesus, reprised. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. Reprised the role. Like they said that Kelly Hu was Lady Deathstrike, and I was like, that didn't look like Kelly Hu at all. Let's see. Favorite all-time Joker?
That's hard. It's hard to kind of couple animated versus because if you're going to talk about it like that, then it's like, well, Kevin Conroy's Batman, and that's it.
That's true.
Well,
Mark Hamill to me is the kind of definitive animation.
Yeah,
Joker. I mean, and there's been some pretty good ones, but Troy Baker sounds just like Mark Hamill's Joker. A lot of them, like we said earlier, with the other Jokers acting like that Joker, right?
Yeah.
But then you have. Go ahead.
I think Hamill though set the precedence for what Joker was supposed to be, not because Batman '66 was campy. But that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So he kind of and Nicholson's Joker was. He was Joker, but he wasn't. Yeah. It was weird. Like he was a gangster, basically. Yeah. And I think Hamill set the precedent for what the Joker blueprint is, and I think even a lot of the live action people follow on to that in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah. The crazy part though is when Mark came on to The Flash and played Toymaker. I think it was Toymaker.
No. Oh my goodness! Because he was the same character in The Flash with the original Flash TV show. Trickster. The crazy part though is voice wise, he basically used his Joker voice. Yeah. Yeah. Firefly was a good show. I will have to agree with y'all.
A single episode of Firefly.
But then you have, and I can't believe I'm forgetting John DiMaggio. John DiMaggio was Joker, and I thought he did different. I think he was a little different.
Yeah.
Kevin Michael Richardson. I can't remember which Batman he did, but his looked wild. His had like these long green dreadlocks. Like his Joker looked crazy. I
remember that one.
Maybe that was
Oh, which that was that the Brave and the Bold
Nope.
TV show?
It was either that or it was the Batman. I can never remember. Yeah, nope, it was Trickster.
Give me one
All right,
second.
Stevie, take care, brother. Love you, man. Thank you for being here. Pretty sure
Right.
he was trying to say good night.
Nope, I think you might be right. Hold on. The Batman.
Cesar Romero. Yeah. The funny thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jay. I think it was the Batman.
Okay. See, the funniest thing about Cesar Romero was the refusal to shave the mustache. So they just painted it, or not painted, but you know what I mean. They just
Yeah,
put the makeup over the mustache.
yeah. Oh man.
You
Sad
know,
part is I'm gonna have to go back through the live chat later because I
yeah,
didn't write down anything. But most of these suggestions are big stories that I can remember. The hard suggestions for me to remember are all of Robbie's Fantastic Four ones.
just ask him again.
I hate doing that though because I don't want to think I'm not paying attention.
I
I'm not
know,
paying
but
attention. I
Robbie's old too. Robbie's old too. Remember that. He's a year older. He's a year older than me.
Yeah, and Robbie manages to review 30 books a week, and we struggle to remember the book we read last week.
Yeah, that's another person. That's right. That stash can't be defeated. That's another person, y'all. If you watch the experience, you know Robbie's with us on Monday for Comic Collectibles. Uh, check out Pop Culture Philosophers. Check out Robbie's review. Uh, the reviews that he does come on sometime after the experience ones. He drops them at random times, but he does us the favor of not putting them out the same time that we're having that show on. Plus, he has the movie nights. The entire PCP crowd are good folks.
When it comes to reviews, though, Robbie was
Robbie is
the
just
blueprint when we were starting to figure out stuff for the channel. For me, at least,
yeah,
when I came across how Robbie does his reviews, like that dude is OG legend. I don't know if anybody can actually do reviews as good as he does.
yeah. And I've told him before, he is one of the many inspirations we had before we started our channel. Like I am a humongous Robbie fan. I love Robbie.
And then Bearded, what I take from Bearded is the fun aspect that he does.
Bearded comic bro.
Yeah, Bearded Comic Bro. His interviews are great, but
Mm-hmm.
what set him apart was some of the really fun things he do where he brought his wife in who was new, the cooking episodes that they would do. Just that kind of stuff, reminding me that it's like you gotta have fun when you do comics, man. That's what comics are. Just because you're reviewing a comic doesn't mean you got to be so serious about it.
Yeah.
So, and for anybody who wonders, one of our philosophies, we try not to bash a comic live on air. There are comics we don't like. Don't get me wrong. There are some that we have said privately that like we think it's terrible. The thing with comics though is somebody likes it somewhere. And so I think there's with all the negativity, especially when you talk about like YouTube and stuff like that, it's just better to let the person who likes that comic talk about it so that it gets to the right people. And if that comic is not something that we can do that for, we generally will not talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our philosophy on things is we want it to be positive, so we'll just spread the stuff that we know we can talk positively to you about. Now, if you ask us our opinion, like on a live like this, and it's something we don't like, sure, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you I didn't like it. But
Yeah.
otherwise, if it comes to like our pre-recorded stuff, we want to keep it positive for that reason.
Like we can be honest, but don't expect us to be ripping books in half or burning them or going too crazy. And I wrote that down, Randy, because that is a good run for him to check out. Christopher Priest writing Black Panther.
That you if I remember right, when they were talking about when or not when they were talking about when you learned Black Panther was actually coming to the MCU, that was the first run that you mentioned.
Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, let me just go on a little bit of a tirade here. We talk about movies, we talk about all that good stuff, right? Y'all, I was so excited about Avengers, and my first thought was, wait a minute, Wait a minute. We didn't introduce Black Panther. Now I know he wasn't like on the very first set of Avengers, but I was mad he wasn't there, y'all. I should have just been patient with it, but I was kind of mad. I was like, man, you made some small changes. This is the one change you couldn't do. You couldn't
Yeah,
just go ahead and put Black Panther in, but
yeah.
and that's selfish of me, really, because Chadwick Boseman, rest his soul, he brought one of my when we're talking Avengers, Black Panther was my favorite Avenger. I can like individual characters more, but when it comes to the overall team of Avengers, Black Panther was my dude. Like he had more money more money than Bruce Wayne, a much better looking costume, short cape, long cape, never mattered to me. No cape, never mattered. But after seeing Chadwick in that role, I was like, man, I thank him so much for bringing one of my favorite characters to life, and it just got me thinking about how mad I was we didn't get him in the Avengers movie. And I was like, all that time we still could have had with him, you
See,
know?
Chadwick Boseman, Mel Gibson to me in terms of when I actually heard him talk.
Hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and let myself sound super for a minute. I thought, folks, for 20 plus years that Mel Gibson was American until I was watching something in history class about Hamlet, and he was talking to college students down in Australia, and I heard his accent. So there have been a lot of people like that for me, where I learned that. And Chadwick, when I first heard him talk, I'm like, how the heck did you do such a good voice for T'Challa? I mean, it was, you know, Chadwick though. I don't. I mean, I know eventually you have to recast T'Challa at some point.
Hmm.
The question is like, I don't know if if I'm even qualified to answer it. When is a good time? You
Yeah,
know, because Chadwick was good
yep,
in that. I mean, he was perfect for that role.
yeah,
So it's like, how do you even replace, like, recast that? Replace is the very, very wrong word. But how do you recast?
yeah,
And and I get the direction they went is with the sister and whatnot. But I think at some point, I would like to have T'Challa Black Panther back on screen again.
that's true.
Um, just when is a good time? That's the
Yeah,
hard part.
yeah,
Because if you think about it, we really haven't gotten a Joker since Heath died.
yeah. And the closest we got was Cam,
I
not
don't.
Cameron Monaghan, but I can't remember. He's the dude that played Barry something because he played one of the Eternals, like Barry Conan. I can't remember how to say his name.
Yeah, yeah. It's very like Cohen or something like that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
his looked kind of weird. I don't know if they're going to still use him, but then we have Joker, which is an Elseworlds thing apparently,
yeah. That apparently
and
has bombed pretty badly.
yeah, I mean it's one of those things where I'm still going to watch it. I got to form my own opinion. I mean, I was so high on Morbius, and then we watched it. And I was like, okay, I can get behind people not liking this one because I didn't care for it. But I always want to give stuff a chance because I don't want to be like, no, the majority says it's bad, so I need to listen to what the majority says. I have to make my own opinion.
Speaking of giving things a chance, did you, while you were trying to get the power back on, did you hear
Mhm.
me tell the story about how I made an ass out of myself with Ready Player One?
No, I didn't, but it's a great story.
Yeah, I did. I told them how like I was stoked with the previews and all that, and because of the headspace I was in at that time when it came out, I was just no. Ugh.
Yeah.
I have no interest in it. And when I finally got my act together and I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
So, but there were a lot of movies during that time though that I was just like, because I was just a shithead.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
it happens.
so now I'm rewatching everything years later
Yeah.
and having fun.
I mean, for a long time you had no interest in watching Lord of the Rings.
You couldn't have, yeah, and we know that from when I was younger, you couldn't have got me to sit down long enough to watch one of those movies.
Yeah.
And then we watched all 6 of them within a week and a half.
Yeah.
So, and there, people have been now, like one of my coworkers went through the original series. He almost refuses though to go through the Hobbit one. I'm like, bro, you got to watch the Hobbit. It's good. Is it Lord of the Rings good? No. You can't expect it to be, but it's freaking worth the watch.
Yeah.
And then and a lot of people have asked me what my favorite one of the original trilogy is, and I'm like, I could probably go in the order of the movies as they came out.
Yeah.
One has that nice adventure feel to it.
Yeah. Randy, exactly. Exactly.
See, and Jay will tell you, I had to have still actually for the most part the benefit of I'm so ignorant to a lot of the comic lore with characters that I could go into the MCU where most people were not liking it. I was fine because I had no idea. Like I actually thought Civil War was great until I read the book. Then I was like, well, okay.
I don't have the disdain for it that my wife does. I can still watch it. I still have it, but she's a bigger fan of that than I am. Civil War, like I love the comic, but she was a diehard. She loved the Civil War comic.
Yeah, greatest 15-second rant of all time.
One of these days, for some of our people who haven't been watching as long as the experience has been on, um, a while back, Kyle had a show called Hot Takes. It was the show he did before Devil's Advocates. It was just him. It was a call-in show. And Sean happened to call in one night, and I'm running the board, because I do Monday shows. So I'm running the board, and Jenna thinks he's talking to his brother. Sean's talking to his brother for some reason. Doesn't know that Sean is live on air because my office at the time was in our bedroom at the other house we were in, and her and Sean were in the living room. She hears Sean say something about Civil War, and she goes on this F-bomb tirade. And Kyle's on screen being like, Jenna, you got to be quiet. And I was like, bro, she can't hear you. She's in the living room. So Sean finally, after a little bit, is like, I'm live with Kyle right now on the phone. And she was beat red. She came back here when the show was over and apologized. Kyle thought
It was hysterical.
for a second he looked like he was mad about it, but then he was like, okay, that's hilarious. And I know there's a way for the experienced people because we have to delete in StreamYard, it saves your videos. You only get a certain amount of storage. So after a while we have to delete older videos so we can, record and keep the videos for the week. But as the experience on YouTube, I can go back to that show and click off that segment. And I think eventually one of these days I am because we're not monetized.
I want to hear the other end of it.
Oh, I'll clip it out.
I did want to hear the other end of it because I remember being like, Jenna.
Yeah.
I'm live with Kyle right now.
Yeah.
And you could, and the other side that you didn't get to see was her face.
Yeah. And Kyle was like, Jenna, we're live. Jenna, I'm live. Jenna. And I was like, dude, she can't hear you. It was hilarious. Still talk about it. Ever. Yep. I still talk about it with Nancy. Nancy's like, eventually you got to find that clip.
Yeah.
And I might put it on this show because, like I said, we're not monetized. I choose not to swear a whole lot. I can watch my mouth, but that's definitely a towards the end of the show kind of clip I'd have to play.
Yeah.
because it'd be one long beep if I didn't.
Oh man, it was so good though.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So, folks, we're gonna wind it down because I still got to figure out how exactly to end this so it doesn't cut me off like it did last time. Uh, but
And you got to eat something.
yeah, I probably should do that too. And it's 11. I still got to do my
Push
push
up.
up before midnight.
Yep.
But this has been a blast. I'm really hoping, not like I said, not this Saturday because we got a wedding to go to, but hopefully on Saturdays. It might not always be around this time. Might be earlier. Might be this time. Who knows? Um, we could do more of these. This was super fun. I had no idea, other than being kicked off for a little bit for the accident, that I had 2 hours in me, and we're at almost 2 hours and 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I mean, it's also weird. I'm so used to having computers, having spots and commercials that I have to play at certain times. Randy, you too, boss. I
Thank you, man.
hope hope to see you. Hope to see you this week on one of the other shows. But if not, I always hope to see you on Friday Night Live because you're always there.
Yeah.
I got nothing to worry about. I'll see you then.
Appreciate
You
it,
take
man.
care.
Thank you for the suggestions too.
Yes, I actually wrote a couple of them down. And by couple, I mean I got one because I thought you had the rest.
Now, like I said, luckily a lot of them are big Batman and Marvel stories, so I can remember a lot of what.
I remember Hush and Dark Knight.
Yep, Hush, Dark Knight, the Hulk, World War Hulk, Planet Hulk, the Christopher Priest run of Black Panther. Please write that down.
That one I wrote down.
There might be more, but I remember most of those. So
cool. All right, folks. Well, we're gonna, Mr. Nope, Randy, Stevie,
you've been on both lines so far.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody that showed up. I know folks dipped out. There's only two of y'all left in here. That's fine.
Triple B, I was
B,
and
yeah, just anybody watching on the rewind. Hope you join us. We're trying to usher in some positivity. It's not always easy in the comic YouTube space, but we hope to accomplish that. And Sean, you got something to show off before we go? Is that what you were doing?
No, I was just trying to see if maybe we had another one towards our 500 goal. Oh yeah, for sure, man. I don't know how you. So, Randy, if you have a chance to jot this down, triangle of truth 80s@gmail.com is the email for the channel. If you want to email that list to us, for sure. And same thing for you, Mr. Nope. Remember that it's hopefully we can get it. It's triangle of truth 80s, like 80s @gmail.com. That's the email for the channel because that was our former name. We're all born in the 80s. So, yeah.
I tell you what, before I end it,
Jay will put it in the chat for you guys. Just if y'all want to send us those emails, I'll copy them down, and I'll start looking either at a local LCS or maybe I'll jump on Nancy and show one night and see if she's got it. I don't. Does Nancy take requests? I've actually never been on her show really. Like if I asked, does she have?
And link it in the bio. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'll have to look. If it's not, I will edit that as soon as we get done because Jay has to go have family time. I have nothing better to do, so I'll go edit around on the page for sure.
Yeah. Did I put that in there right? Did I spell that right?
Yep, that's correct.
I'm sitting here. Y'all can't see it, but my mic is sitting on top of a box, so I'm sitting here kind of hunched over.
Yeah. And I've got mine like right here in front of me, so the mic's a little further away.
Yeah, Nancy's really good about that.
Okay.
She's like request things if she has it because she works in a store. Like there was, like I was saying earlier about Randy. Randy was missing a cover for World War Hulk and happened to ask for it. Nancy happened to have it, so that was awesome to see.
Cool. All right then.
All right, folks. Well, hopefully I can end this better. I got an outro to play. Hopefully that timing will be right. Uh, so I hope to see y'all later. Have a great rest of your night, great rest of your weekend. I will see you next week on the experience and hopefully in the coming times on Hydrasylum. So, everybody, take care. What's up, everybody? I told you I'd come back. Still got to end this thing. Um, Hope you enjoyed that a little replay from our very first show Sean and I did together a year ago. It's a ton of fun. Uh, like I said, we're gonna get better so we can hopefully hit that goal of now 600, which we're not that far away from. We did lose a sub, but that's how it is with YouTube. You have a new sub for like 2 weeks, and then one drops off or what have you. But um, yeah, thank you all for watching, staying around. It was a replay. You've seen it before, but now you get to tell us, hey, you remember when you guys said this thing and you never did it? And then the email link is still good. Eventually, we'll get that changed to, like a Hydrasylum Comics email or something. But for now, you want to email us anytime. It's right there in the chat. I don't think Sean ever put it back in the bio, but we'll see. Um, so, everyone, I'm dipping out. Thank you so much. If you're watching this on the rewind, we do have newer ones. This was just a replay because there wasn't any way I was going to be able to talk for an hour or two, especially with all the cool stuff that came out this weekend. So I'm dipping out, folks. I hope you all have an awesome rest of your weekend. I'll see you during the week on the experience and hopefully see you next Saturday, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, for a brand new Hydra Hangout. Uh, Take care, everyone. Later.